Hey guys, Divine Messages 333. It's Lisa. So I have the Soul Connections When Two Hearts Meet deck, and I thought we could see what you can expect, or if you need any advice, if you're someone who's dating currently. So we're going to go with elements. So I'm doing water signs first. Um, so Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Have they, and my decks have already been shuffled, so I just took it out of the box. I shuffled them before. So, what can they expect from um, their dating life? If they've recently went on a date, what do they need to know? What should they keep in mind? Clarity. Take time to think about your situation to gain clarity. Okay. So some things may feel like confusing, or you may need to just kind of like separate from this person and take some time to think. Um, Maybe you got an indication that you're not sure if you're both on the same page, something like that. And so, yeah, so just take some time for yourself. You might want to get outside. Okay. All right. So we have soul. Your soul is preparing to reconnect. Trust in the process. To reconnect. So I feel like this is someone, I feel like I'm looking at a photo here. And so if it were a photo, that would be something that's already happened. So I feel like in the past, I feel like you guys were vulnerable with each other. They both look like they're, not, clothed. I feel like you two were, like, you showed, I feel like you both wanted to show yourself, but see how they're not looking at each other? I feel like you were each trying to show yourself and be vulnerable. But when it came to the intimate connection, the intimacy, you guys did not connect there. You didn't connect on an intimate level. Okay? You both were vulnerable, and maybe the feminine energy was less vulnerable or a little more guarded than the masculine energy. Um, and I feel like there was kind of like almost like this darker energy kind of over you guys. Yeah, it's real dark and you can't really like see everything, and it's real dark by their heads. So I feel like their intuition wasn't um clear. They didn't have clarity. I feel like the two people did not have clarity, and it says prepare to reconnect. So that means that you two separated. Okay. So you may have went on a date, or you're recently talking with someone that you knew previously. Um, it's not going to be for everybody, obviously. Um, what can you tell us about this reconnection? What can you tell us about the water signs reconnecting with someone? Boundaries. Having sensible boundaries is important. Okay. So one of you guys, or you both, might have dogs, or somebody might work with dogs or like dogs. I'm also getting that maybe one person treated the other person or thought the other person was a little, what's the word? A little emotional or something, or what am I getting? I feel like I'm getting something with logic. Like they were more like going with their feelings than logic. And so maybe to someone else, it didn't seem sensible. Okay, that's what I'm picking up, is that maybe one person felt they were treated like they weren't very sensible. Um, and so they're like, these people are very close, physically close, but she's guarded. She's got her. She's covering her heart, and okay. So if you want to connect with someone, um, you want to receive love, you want to offer love, you cannot be blocking. It doesn't make sense to block your heart, right? That doesn't make sense. Boundaries, though, are necessary and they're important. And so I feel that the feminine energy um, will need to work on, or maybe already has been working on, having boundaries up, but not a boundary, not an obstacle that's blocking their heart. Okay. And this ball is green, and the heart chakra is green. Okay. Yeah. So, I would say here the advice that I'm getting is that if in the past the two of you, or even if you went through something like this, but it not with this new person that you're connecting with, this could just be that you need to kind of tap into a previous situation where you did learn something, and you don't want to. So when you tap into that, you want to kind of dip in and get the wisdom from those situations, and not go back in time and relive the situation, if that makes sense. Okay. So let's say you had a previous situation that didn't involve this new person, and this situation feels a bit familiar to you, and it's kind of moving in the direction that the previous situation was moving in, but you can see now your part in that previous situation, and kind of where things kind of started to fizzle out or become like an obstacle that wasn't um going to be able to be moved easily. So that will trigger some memories, but you're going to want to remind yourself, if this is triggering memories for you about an experience that didn't work out, or like a, heartache or anything, you want to remember to take the lessons out of it and not get stuck on those emotions that might bring you back into, that lower energy. It didn't work out, I acted like this, and then kind of replaying all of it. Like, that's over. That's over. You're just taking what you learned from that. You're taking the parts that you you contributed, and how it didn't work, and you can see why it didn't work, um, how it didn't benefit you when maybe you were just trying to protect yourself. Okay, you can still protect yourself, but if you want love, you cannot block your heart as you're protecting yourself. You can, you know, yeah. So I don't know if you're going to want to, what I'm getting is love on yourself. As you love on yourself and you become more confident, you may get triggered by some familiar situations. Um, but again, if you have learned lessons, you have taken accountability, you have accepted your part, you know that yes, you have a tendency to do this. Yes, this is a very scary for you, or you're not the greatest in situations like blah blah blah, and you accept this about yourself. And so then you've got to find another alternative way. You have to find an alternative way. How am I going to still protect myself without blocking my heart? How can I protect my heart without blocking my heart? Because nothing is going to get in. You're not going to get that love. You're not going to feel that. So you have to be open, right? See how this is open? This ball, it's green. Imagine that's your heart chakra, but this is all open. Now we do have our shadow side, okay? We do have our shadow side, and we need to embrace all of our sides. We need to be comfortable with all of our sides. Even this, the dark shadow that's over them, that could have been their own negativity. It doesn't necessarily mean that other people were negative around them or they were in a negative situation. It could be. It could have been adding to it, but they brought their own darkness, and it covered their situation, their relationship. Their darkness, their shadows overpowered their ability to be totally vulnerable. What is it about that? When you're in your shadow side, Cancers, Pisces, Scorpios, do you reject help? Do you, I don't know. I mean, if you've been working on yourself, you know, and if you don't really understand what is the shadow side, look up things like Carl, I think it's Jung. Look up, books or videos, things about him and describing the shadows, our shadow self. Um, how do we tackle that if you're in therapy? What are your shortcomings? How do you get in your own way? How do you self-sabotage? So I do feel, though, that either you've gained clarity or you will gain clarity, but it was real dark, and now the clouds are kind of breaking, the light, the clear sky, the clarity is coming through. But you have to be open to receive it. You have to be open. You cannot be closed off. You cannot be closing yourself off like that. Okay? So that is the advice for the water signs. I'll just, for fun, I'll look at the bottom of the deck and see what's under there. Respect. Respect your relationships. Respect your relationship with yourself and respect it with others. Again, this I'm seeing as more clarity. Back here, you didn't really see you see them, but now you really see them up close and personal. They're finally looking at each other. They can finally see each other. And they look happy. So don't be scared. Don't be scared to show yourself and let people see you. Don't block your heart chakra. It needs to be open for you to receive. And the more open you become, the more open your heart can become, the more respect you will give yourself and others will respect you, and you will have more clarity and confidence, and you'll be able to let your guard down and let in the love, let in that light, receive that light. It's coming for you. All right, so have a great rest of the week. If you've got any dates coming up, have fun, enjoy your summer, and we'll see you next time.